the full forces of the Imperial Guard, as well as a group of mutants who are very friendly, especially a stout, shorter type of abhuman who many of you haven't seen before, who travel with you and are very chatty with a strange accent and a strange background. They're from a world far away where gravity is very dense, and they're short, compact, and unusually strong. They use flying beasts and were very resourceful in the last battle. You've also fought alongside giant mutants that look like overgrown men. Huge, muscular, lumbering giants who follow your every word and slavishly do your bidding. As you approach Chani, you would have seen beyond the orange clouds of the sand hanging above and flowing across the sand dunes, the shape of the ivory walls and towers. You'll see this monumental city. You have spent quite a lot of time there now, a few days, and you've spent it repairing your ship, getting your ship back to Fort Chani, landing near the fortress. I can switch them up so you can see. You are actually the Morning Star, as it's called, has landed right outside the fort of Chani itself. Everyone in the city is now focused on you. The Imperium has complete control, military control of the city. Gone are the small sects, cults. They're at least not visible anymore in the streets. No one is walking around with their robes and their religious symbols chanting in your face, pushing their heathen gods on you. Only the Imperial cult rules. And even the navigator houses have sent out some diplomats who walk around in the streets, and you can occasionally see them with a smug expression on their face, smiling at the locals who bow to them and give them trinkets and whatever else they have of valuables. The most devout Imperial cultists will glee and take pleasure in the victory you've had in converting the city. Everyone who is still loyal to the old gods keep their mouths shut or are underground. And in the streets you can regularly see Imperial guardsmen wandering about, bartering, visiting homes, coming out with big smiles on their faces. And you can see the locals sort of grumpy with reddish faces, shamed, as if they've been occupied. The king has a demeanor of confusion, being overwhelmed. It looks like he hasn't slept for a long time. You have spent some time wandering about the city, getting back up to date on what Cain and the rest of the Archconfessor's retinue have been doing. They have been professing the Imperial cult and forcing everyone to bend the knee. It is a harsh oppression that hangs over the city. The soldiers, since they haven't been given any specific orders, are quite brutal with anyone who shows opposition. And you can see regularly rebels and like religious cults pulled up on huge carts and carried out of the city to be buried. The navigator houses have been heard from. Cain has established contact with all the three major navigator houses that are friendly to you. They're in the city, and they have some contact with their troops. They are ambivalent with the Inquisition, and whenever they speak to you, they speak in code, and you have the feeling that you can impress them, influence them in some kind of way, but you cannot directly control their actions. They still maintain that they have military superiority on the planet, and they are right, as their forces far outnumber yours. You don't have the military prowess in the sky either, as the Imperial cruiser has been under attack several times by cloaked Eldar vessels. Many of your turrets and guns have been destroyed. Local fighters have been, or fighter planes, or whatever you want to call it, have been destroyed, and they're also struggling up there. So, you are currently where in the city? Does anyone remember?
We're in the, what do you call it, hold on, let me just zoom in. The main sort of cathedral area.
Mm-hmm. Pantheon of Saints?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't move it.
Yeah. So, you're going to be wandering around the city, and as you walk around, the streets are much more empty than they were before. Again, you can see these guardsmen, many of them drunk, walking through the city. Some of them will be seen roughing up the locals. Whenever they spot you walking along next to them, they'll sort of look over and immediately change their behavior and walk away. But there is definitely a feeling of an occupied city. The Pantheon is a beautiful church-like structure. It is surrounded by these parks and trees. Occasionally you can see some curious scouts looking at the Pantheon and running away when you approach. A group of important people and formerly religious cults now, not carrying their symbols anymore, can be seen occasionally gather outside and bow and light candles and chant. And inside the massive windows you can see these rows of busts and benches with depictions of epic events and walls lined with candles. Cytherea, the acolyte of the chamber, gives blessings and chants whenever you enter. Cain has been seen and is now gone. Only a few Imperial agents remain, as well as your stormtroopers. We're gonna start in the basement of the Pantheon. And Nyx, what are you currently doing? This is where you have your bunk beds, all your stash.
Nyx is currently still reading that Flying for Dummies book.
Nice. Commissar Rickard?
The commissar will actually not, be there initially, but will actually come down the stairs. His eyes bright red. The bags under his eyes very dark. Very fatigued look about him. So it is, and well, yes, just look like a man that is literally on his last legs.
Data Predator.
Data Predator is currently organizing a plethora of scrolls and data slates that he has acquired from one of Hector's hands, one of his assistants, in regards to some requests he has made. After neatly organizing it in folders and in a more easily carryable capacity, he will look around the room, noticing that there is a single piece of metal on the ground, which he quickly puts it above any of the candles made with organic matter, as iron should be superior to any organic form.
Awesome. Sam.
Sam is reviewing the status report since his surgery for his bionic leg. He's just poring over a data slate and gradually massaging his right stump that is now attached to the bionic leg, trying to get the blood flow going again. He kind of winces as he rubs it a little bit too hard, and it bangs into the cold iron.
Awesome. And that's where we can begin.
Entering your presence, Matthias will look at you, Sam, as he says, "Careful there. The flesh. It will take some time for the witch flesh to adjust to your new and improved form."
It's not the first time I've had to go through this, as he raps against his left leg with a hollow metallic thud.
I see you've been blessed by the Omnisaya again and again. Surely you are grateful for this.
You could say that. He looks back at you with a slightly sad face, but it's taking some adjustment, surely.
Enough of that. I hope that you've recovered enough to resume work.
Sam flips over his data pad and says, "Just reviewing the basics. I do want to get out of here as soon as possible and, as you said, get back to it."
Then this will speed along things, as I presume you have a table in front of you, as the data predator has his manipulator metadendrite reach into a backpack that he was carrying and pulls out this enormous folder that makes sense why the data predator would use a crane-like metadendrite to lift it, and slams it in front of you. "I have prepared today's agenda. Many objectives are to be accomplished, and I've made them in bite-sized data vaults for you to digest and dictate us how we should proceed. Would you like to review them?"
Sam extends a hand. "Please."
Very well. First, but not in any particular order, just in the one of appearance, not importance, as he makes sure to impose this upon you. The disappearances of inquisitorial personnel in the city. They have been quite concerning. Hector has managed to make some investigations, and at the moment things are, well, limited. We know only the victims, their units, who they worked with, and where they disappeared. Other than that, Hector did not possess enough time or resources to conduct any further. Second, we are aware of the connection between the thief and the treasurer. We could pursue an inquiry of the treasurer's motive, or to prove his guilt. We do possess the evidence. We could strong harm him or offer him an out. I believe that's more your prerogative, and I would not suggest anything than just you doing your job. Third, our limited manpower. At the moment, the city itself is formed currently of 60% civilians. We should teach said civilians to arm them, but as the public opinion of our righteous presence here is strained, let's call it, this could prove quite dangerous. We would best make effort to turn whatever opposition still remains mute, so that we may start converting civilians into fighting combatants. That is all.
You get an inspiration point.
Very good. We have a great task ahead of us, many great tasks ahead of us, but I think that the most simple and most direct thing that we can do right now is to apprehend the treasure in Abe. He should be most easy to find, as these people in these positions always surround themselves and always are in a position of where you can view them. I doubt that they would be hiding even now. How have we made contact with anybody, or have we sent out any agents in apprehending such a person yet? Do we have a position on them?
Would Hector give such information to the data predator? Orton?
Yes.
We are aware of his presence. I do not think Hector has the manpower to form an arrest squad. As for whether it will be as easy as walking onto his front door and just detaining him, we did not. Hector was not able to survey the area. We will have to do most of the work, but we are aware of his location and routine.
It's a start. We'll have to make do. As for the disappearances, I think that should be our next target. We may be able to utilize our manpower, our current manpower, in trying to make casual searches about the fort and see about seeing if we have some kind of commonalities and cross-reference that against the locations that they've been abducted. There may be something more to it as long as we can collect the data. As for the limited manpower, that's going to have to be taken care of in a week's time at most. We don't have very much time to do that, but we'll have to make do just as we always have. What does the commissar say about this?
I would not put a lot of value in his judgment. But you are wise to seek counsel with your peers. However, listening to them, it's a matter entirely. If you wish to ask him, speak with him yourself.
I am right here.
I know. I am not one to speak behind other people's back. I made sure you could hear it even if you would cover your ears.
Do you wish my opinion?
as troubled as our previous excursion was, and fundamentally the plan was flawed, I still believe that you are the best man for the job, and if you're not, then, well, you will soon be put onto the chopping block. Let us hear it.
Well, we have a penal legion now, construction legion, and if I am not seen to be worthy, I would ask to lead them into the fray. Do I have your consent?
You do. Proceed as you wish, and do as you must.
Well, in our last encounter, I do not believe our walls will hold. They literally stripped the walls from beneath our feet, and I believe that walkers, if they enter the city, would be more vulnerable. So therefore, we have to look at making fortresses within the city, turn the city blocks into essentially bunkers. But at the same time, do not let them look like bunkers. Let the walkers and the more heavy troops walk past so that they can be hit from the rear. We need a mobile force. I say this because I do not believe we can hold the walls.
Do you have a proposed plan of action as far as it comes to having some kind of mobile force?
Well, considering the small fact that we now have a small garrison troop, we need to train the hell out of them so that they can strip a lasgun in their sleep, so that they can run, throw up, and run twice as fast. Outside of that, without specialized troops, we can only do what we can do. I do not believe that we can go on the offensive. Maybe limited strikes, but not a grand offensive, if you know what I mean.
How far away are they from the city at present? What is their current position, and is it possible for us to bottleneck them in such a way that even the blindest of these civilians can fire in a direction and hit something?
Bottleneck who?
The Tyranids.
There are no turrets.
No,
Or not Tyranids, excuse me. Excuse me, Eldari.
Xenos are the same. I know. I also mixed them up.
They're about 3 days away from Gothgrim, above.
Okay.
You
current
must
situation-
understand that they're also coming from the north and the east. Sorry, west.
Indeed. In the northwest, the Eldari force is still licking their wounds from the battle, engaging the forces of House Brabazon. While in the northeast, there is a unengaged force still holding ground there, At the moment,
Aye.
they're excavating the vaults of the knight we have acquired, as well as their attempts to Heresy. They've touched our ship, but thankfully the Omniscient blessed us with a swift action and add their profane actions.
Llewellyn will come, slowly wandering over. She's walking slowly, gallantly, which is in huge contrast to the screeching and clanking of her huge power armor as she leans over the table. I heard you mention the knight. I will inform you that he is waiting by the amphitheater. She just slowly leans back and grabs her flamer.
Turning around, Data Predator will say to Sam, I have just been informed that the said knight seeks audience. This is not a misjudgment of mine. This information has just been presented to me.
Then we should speak with said knight post-haste. For if we can gather their forces, we may still stand after the Eldari siege this fort. Sam gets up from his bed, strains as he gets up on his new leg. He walks toward the door and says, well, let's do it, boys and girls.
And as you're walking out, you will see another commissar coming down the hall. They will give you a brisk salute and then drop something into your pocket and continue on walking.
Awesome. You'll exit the Pantheon and look at the family standing there. They shy away as soon as you emerge. Some of them will grab their children and run into their hovels, gathering them under their robes and literally running away as soon as you become visible. The guardsmen will turn around, give a salute. The excruciating heat from the sun hits you. Whoever is wearing warm clothing will be struggling a bit. It is a warm day, and water has been gathered in buckets outside the Pantheon. Cytherea looks at you and points to the buckets and bows. The stormtroopers will step aside as you exit. And you begin to head towards the amphitheater. Anyone can roll a d100.
Easy there, guys, not all at once.
You'll see people are mostly engaged in their regular activities outside. Ooh,
19.
very nice.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, usually I have to switch those two numbers. But no, it's a nice day. It's pretty calm in the streets. You'll see some people washing clothes, hanging up clothes. You'll see some people running around trying to sell some food. Sticks of whatever meat of the local fauna here, and as you approach the amphitheater, you'll see it is rather full. The market is teeming with people, and a new wave of refugees from the ensuing wars have led to an increase in both resources and whereabouts and scouts and harvesters who forage from the nearby forests. A very dangerous trip, but priceless and often very tasty foods. And sure enough, the amphitheater with actually its usual musicians and a few stringed instruments pleasantly playing in the background. You will see a group of children gathered around a man who is just standing in his knight. You're fully aware of the power source on his back, which is powerful enough to destroy the entire city if it was ignited in the proper way. And the children are just patting it and playing with it and toying with it. He stands there. He is light-haired, kind of a friendly demeanor. He has a wide smile on his face. Seems to be belly laughing at some of the children. And he moves the hand, sort of turning it around to the wows and the chairs of everyone looking at him. As you approach, you see some people starting to slowly shy away, create a little wave for you to walk up to the gallant. He looks over while laughing. Good. He's kind of taken aback. Will unstrap his hands and just stand relaxed, casual at the above the chair. It's good to see you again, I think.
It's always a pleasure, Sir Knight, and going to walk up very respectfully and extend a hand.
He will sort of take off his gloves. No need for formalities. I've spoken to the locals and I actually feel quite welcome here. Thank you for everything you've done. For fighting for them. I was wrong not to trust you. Especially you, Sam. They've told me a lot of good things about you. He'll slowly nod and sort of look over the horizon. Besides, this isn't such a bad place to end your days. Think I might retire here. He will jump off the knight and slowly walk over, children grabbing the knight, and he'll look at you and smile. Anything I should know?
There's quite a bit of adversity that we're currently facing. Xenos from seemingly all directions may be here soon. We're also aware of a severe problem with manpower. And it seems that you have a pretty good rapport here. If you could, in our stead, further that influence, convert a few people, I think that would go a long way in terms of bringing everybody on our side and uniting us all as one against these soon-to-be here Xenos.
He'll get a little closer and sort of muffled voice. I think I know what you're saying, but do you want me to tell them everything? Everything you showed me in the data slate?
I've shown a few crowds this information, at least those of Goth Kareem, if Sam's going to look at Rykard and the Data Predator as well as Rick for reassurance.
Morten, have the refugees from Gothkarim come to the city? Came to the city?
Yep. You haven't seen them, but you've been informed.
The Data Predator will say sooner or later the refugees from Gothkarim will spread this information. You did show them, correct?
In vivid detail.
Then it's only a matter of time. You may only choose from who they're gonna hear. The refugees or someone you can trust to send a clear message. That is what I advise. That is my analysis as he steps back.
He'll sort of unbutton his jacket, which is rather heavy, leather jacket. I don't want to be rude and make any... well, perhaps you could produce more of those data slates and show them to the locals. If they see what I saw, well, I can't imagine their minds wouldn't be changed.
I think that a lighter hand may go well with this, however. I don't think that the most gory details should be revealed quite yet. We don't want to raise fear and possible distrust that that potentiates that we may have been those who brought these forces here.
He smiles as
kind of paranoia.
He smiles as a little boy with unusual mutations in the face comes up and chairs and grabs his leg. He'll look down and pat his head and... Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea.
However, if a hero, which is beloved by the people, were to warn them of the threat that's coming, then I'm certain that they will be more unified. As the insinuation is quite obvious.
I don't really know what you want me to do. Do you want me to stand on the town square and profess like a madman? I could do it, but it's not really something I'm used to.
No, I think that a simple goodwill effort and perhaps we could use you for a few recordings with one of these. And Sam whips out a picked recorder. If we could get a few angles of you firing off a few rounds just outside the city in a safe setting where nobody will be injured, and have you smile a bit, look strong just as you are, being who you are, I think that may garner very much needed goodwill and bring the people that don't currently believe, that don't know what is going on.
Do a charm test, -10.
So while he's doing the charm test, Rickard is got success with 1 degree on scrutiny for the kid that came up and hugged his leg.
No need to roll anything unless I say. Just ask me if they want to have any questions.
He's going.
Little kid is an innocent kid. Nothing suspicious.
Innocence means nothing.
I mean, it's your game. Do you pull out your gun?
Secrets.
Is this gonna turn dark already? We were having such a pleasant time.
I'm just saying.
Everything was so good. Okay.
Sunny day outside, beating a new night. Oh, there's a kid. Innocent? No, he can't possibly.
What do you know? Okay, charm. Yeah.
8 degrees of success.
Yeah.
Pure.
The kid will. He's smiling, Looking up at Abistain, he kind of will take off his jacket completely. If you think it'll make a difference, I'll do it. But yeah, I'll do it.
Very good. If you'll just give me a moment to confer with the priest of Mars for a moment, and Sam's going to step aside, bring his arm around Matthias for a moment, and just whisper under his breath. So what we need to do is come out with a simple propaganda piece. We have the knight shoot his guns. We have him sitting or standing next to this little boy here, this local. We have some editing of Xenos forces that are coming to swarm. Come up with something nice. I think that this will inspire enough courage in the others and show us as champions of this world rather than conquerors. Just a nice little fluff piece. You know what I mean?
As you approach Matthias, put your hand around him, he listens to you and he begins to speak. As you speak, and after he takes his turn, you notice that his metadendrites begin to coil around your leg, around the arm you put around him. The manipulator, which is a train, begins to pull you closer to him as he focuses all of his attention towards you and to the thought, not really aware of, or maybe you're not sure whether he's aware of the act the metadendrites partaking upon your form, but he says, I suggest we employ the resources of Hector. He is very well aware of how to sway the hearts of the masses. And while the Archconfessor is a bit heavy-handed, he has some knowledge of previously used propagandas and how they have been effective or not. A task force made of these two, combined with a data entry tech priest, which is specialized in editing tape recordings. I believe together they will be able to inscribe plenty of data slates to be dispensed to the populace in a very pleasing light. Interrogator.
Very good. I did not expect you to come up with a plan so soon, but that seems like... And he's going to take off his fedora for a moment, revealing not a full shock of hair, but just little trimmings here and there, still freshly sealed from his recent cybernetic implantment. He scratches his head, a small tink as his fingernails rap against his skull, and, well, he puts his hat back on. Let's get underway with that. I think that that's a great idea.
Inspiration points.
I have already delegated the report to this data slate. A runner will soon join us to offer your instructions to Hector and the Archconfessor. Well done in resoluting this matter, Sam. As the metadendrites begin to retreat from your form, as they leave you unimpeded in your movement.
Awesome.
I would suggest that we have 2 other commissars on this planet and 2 cadets on this planet. I would suggest that you enable and give field promotions to the cadets From what I've seen, the troops are unruly. They need to be brought back in line.
If we relieve Hector from his burden of investigating the matter of the disappearance, I'm certain that he will be able to reorganize our forces. He's stretched thin already, as is.
Is a stopgap measure. At the end of the day, 4 commissars for, well, the amount of troops we have here is reasonable. So I request, Sam, that you give the cadets.
Make it so.
Awesome. Do you guys want to move out, or what do you want to do? Do you want to RP anything else in this scene? Anyone? Okay, you don't want to RP anymore.
Yeah, so I think that we're just going to move on to the next.
As you're leaving, you'll see the gallant sort of taking your orders and nodding, and you'll agree to a time to meet and all that, and make this footage. Some of the children will begin cheering around him as he walks up to the knight again, and one of the children will ask, "Where do you live? Where do you live?" And he sort of looks out on the horizon. "Where do I live? I live far underground. At night, I disappear like a shadow. And I emerge when our enemies least expect it. And I strike them down with my hammer!" And you'll see the children start to cheer, and as you walk away, you'll sort of hear the distant cheering of the children. You'll be going to the Morning Star, or?
No, we would. Do we want to talk to the treasurer? To where the treasurer, or at least scout where the treasurer is?
Right.
Agreed. That would be first on the list.
Okay. You'd be pretty familiar with the city at this point, and you would know that the plaza is where the government, the real government, operates. They have a little bureaucracy going here where they manage the city and take decide every minor detail of what goes on. The treasury is known to all of you, and you sort of gather outside of it. And you'll see people coming and going, looking at you. What are these unusual people doing here? Some of them will recognize you and bow. And as you walk closer, you'll see between these large mansions and sandblasted trees, this massive building of dark stone. Majestic pillars and wide staircases. And you'll see these diplomats and men in white coats carrying scrolls pass you by. As you see the door open, you'll see this huge hallway inside and massive stone stairs leading up to various entrances. Inside you'll see statues and paintings. Some officios are visible through the open doors. Some people standing around in a circle will sort of look over at you and look down their nose at you. What do you do?
Well, gentlemen, I suppose we should go introduce ourselves.
Rykard, I believe that you may be the one who would best do this particular leg of the job. Make ourselves known.
Right, how? He's gonna march straight towards the door.
As you walk up the stairs, you look up at the statues and feel that even though you look down on these people's customs and ways, there is a certain amount of honor and majesty in what they've been able to accomplish here, even in complete isolation. Some remnants of the grandiosity of the Imperium remains. You'll see a guard as soon as you approach will bow and open the door. By King Saviour's admission, enter. He will bow, kneel as you walk in the door. Inside you'll see black and dark tiles, small white spots, almost look like stars, and these huge stairs leading up to the right and left.
So, does anyone want to show me where the treasurer is? Or introduce me?
A guard in a medieval outfit and a spear will turn around at the door, walk inside. I apologize. The consul is up the stairs, far to the right, to the left, down the hall, third door to the right.
Oh, thank you. And he will set off up the stairs with his... It's going click, 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 click.
It's very clickety-clackety. These halls are completely empty and the echo is massive. So the rest of you chime in. Commissar, are you walking alone?
I think I am walking alone at the moment, and I'm gonna go onto the Vox and say, something feels wrong.
What, Commissar?
It's too quiet.
You don't really need that many people for a treasury.
Well, you would expect more guards.
You really think anyone would try to rob that place? Especially
You
with
would be
the low
surprised.
tech of this world.
Through the Vox, you would hear the data predator's voice clearly saying, "While the commissar's observations are superficial and limited, he's right. The treasurer has been colluding with the road trader that has acquired the ledger, the journal, which contains information about the originatus. It is not a far-fetched belief that there would be agents here to ensure his cooperation."
That would be a logical conclusion,
Exquisitely
Matthias.
put.
Perhaps we need a few more in our current band in order to see if they may be laying out some sort of trap for us, even in these halls.
Even so, there will be a gamble whether the road trader possesses the assets to lay such a trap, or he has lost interest once the treasurer has fulfilled his objective. It will be up to us to assume the risk of this gamble.
Well, the simple fact of the matter is I am committed, so make your decision.
Calling for reinforcements. We're going in first. And Sam's going to double time it over to the commissar.
Yeah, always good to get a fight in the morning. Rick picks up his warhammer and starts heading over to Commissar.
An astute observation. I believe that we show overwhelming force. There will be no conflict. Beat them before make them submit without firing us.
Some people just never give up, even with overwhelming odds and no chance of surviving. But hey, at least they never give up.
The inspiration point. As you call over your stormtroopers or your guardsmen, you'll see the nobles will get a little wary, and one of them will approach, protesting your presence, saying you'll just make the merchants anxious.
As the noble says this, Commissar is going to slap him with the back of his hand
Fun!
across his face.
The Nath has been close to Rijkaard. He will use his talent as a bodyguard to catch his slap. Just before the report, before he brings it down, as the manipulator holds him by the wrist and begins to assist Rijkaard in waving his hand, saying, "We are
And
not."
Rick grabs
As he even raises his hand, one of the guards will reach for his gun, and he will shoot you.
Fuck!
Hey, trigger happy.
You can dodge. Commissar cut.
Bro, can you do diplomacy for 1 fucking second?
It's a little like a gunslinger Wild Wild West thing. He has this long gun by his side, and it will just flick it up, and with a single press on the button, you'll see this huge puff of smoke rise up above you, and you'll see this huge flash of light as it hits Commissar Rijkaard, and he will dodge to the side, and you'll see the man quickly retreating, loading his gun. Several others will react in the same way, and the noble will run aside, and you can hear him whimpering as he runs. It's about 10-20 men start to grab for their weapons. Some of the guardsmen will draw their last guns and run towards you. You all have one action.
Sorry,
Go
sorry, guys. I'm actually I'm out for a bit. Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
It's your turn, guys.
All right, Rick's gonna. Actually, how far is the guy retreating back?
He's about 4 meters back.
That's enough for a charge, baby. Rick's gonna charge straight into the guy.
Yes.
Wait, there's no non-lethal damage anyway. Might as well.
Melee attacks can be non-lethal.
Yeah,
Only
choose.
ranged. Yeah.
Yup.
Should you choose?
Okay. I'll make this one non-lethal. I'm trying to break his hand that he used to shoot a commissar, I guess.
You make it clear that it's not a lethal attack. Okay.
Okay.
He is. You're just gonna slam the gun out of his hand. He's gonna try to dodge. He succeeds with 1 degree.
Minus 30, inescapable.
Damn. Nope. You hit.
I kind of look back to commissar. This is why you don't hit them. You're supposed to say "fuck off."
slam the gun out of his hands. You don't even need to make any special rolls. It was attached to his hip. As you hit it, it will just fling over, hit the ground, and it will there go off again. It's a repeating rifle. You can see the other guards grabbing for the guns, kneeling down in athletic pose, slowly crawling back as they see a wall of guardsmen standing in front of them.
Rika looks to the guy that shot, and you have an itchy trigger finger. At least hold back a bit.
Interrogator, you must put all your essence into ceasing this useless engagement. Calm them.
Sam shouts out, "We have a small army at our backs. Lay down your arms, lest you be made into corpse paste."
You can choose command or intimidate +10.
Can I assist him if he does intimidate?
Of course.
I'll do the same.
That's 4 degrees of success on command.
As soon as you yell that out, you'll see the guy with the rifle. He will try to grab for it, and then he'll hold his hands up in the air, and I see him shaking, visibly shaking. Then I look at you. His hands go straight up in the air. As soon as he looks over to the side, you can see the other men also dropping their weapons and holding their hands up. Everyone starts slowly walking backwards.
Sam confidently strolls past them. "I will forgive you all for this infraction this time, but I will remember each and every one of your faces," as Sam's steely blue eyes stares into each of their faces, ensuring that the correct effect was affected. He turns to the others, looking at Rick, who is undoubtedly crippled, one of these men, as well as the Data Predator and Reichardt. "Let us proceed. And, Matthias, if you can run ahead, ensure that the treasurer is captured. We'll follow soon behind."
One of the men will, as he kneels and slowly gets up, "You must know our laws. Any threat against our lord is a threat against us. We were bound by duty to attack you."
"And do your laws supersede the very king?"
He looks down at the ground. We
Your
haven't received an edict from the king.
Your lord is under question of trying to secede. He has taken action directly against the monarchy. We are here to investigate if this is true. Let's just say our first impressions are lacking.
He turns entirely red. You can feel the heat from his gaze of pure hatred as he turns around and stubbornly walks away. The rest of the men will start jogging as they turn the corner.
I would like to stop one of the detainees and ask him where exactly is the treasurer, his office located, encouraging him by pointing my many metadendrites and my manipulator with its 3 claws clanging in front of him.
They'll give you the same description they gave the commissar.
Okay.
For they start jogging away. Commissar Rickard is going to turn round to the Imperial Guard soldiers, say, "Medicaid, deal with this man."
One of them will quickly sling over his shoulder bag and open the pouch, lean down, and begin administering first aid.
After getting the location of where the treasurer will be, Matthias will take a bow in front of Sam and begin to go at full speed in the direction. Either going between pillars, hiding his form, or starting to sit higher ground where usual human perception would not garner interest in his position.
You'll enter a long hallway, marble floor, huge, beautiful windows, and at the end of it you'll see these massive wooden doors. No expense has been spared inside. As soon as you turn the corner, you will see almost like the entire room is like when you walk up to a bar almost. It's like a big desk that goes around the entrance to the room. You can see a bunch of offices, a bunch of desks. 3 women and 1 man will be sitting there, typing away. As you approach, they will see, look up, and one of the women will stand up and slowly walk over to the desk. Is everything all right? There was some commotion outside.
Fear not. For your safety, I must request that you stay put. As through the microbit, I say, interrogator, I have eyes on the treasurer. He is at his desk. 200 meters forward, you will, and to the left, you will find a large corridor, a set of double doors, wooden, I presume hardening or capable of biometal origin. Go through them. I will keep him here.
Through the
ensure that he does not take his own life or trigger something in that room. He may have been supplied with such things.
Understood. All my aspects are focused on him. As he just sees Matthias, no sound coming from Matthias, but as he finishes talking with Sam from underneath his cloak, the treasurer could see a light forming as his optical method dendrite focuses on his entire form. He's within 5 meters of him.
The consul will walk in through an adjacent door. There is a glass window in the door, and he was visible the whole time. He is an older man, grey beard and hair. It looks like he's been reading books in tomes his entire life. Huge rings under his eyes. Tired but strict. He will walk into the room, and his workers will quickly get back down and begin typing. The consul will slowly walk over to the entrance. Yes. I assume this commotion was from you. Who are you? I haven't seen you before.
Is are the rest here?
Who?
Or is he approaching me before the rest of the acolytes are here?
It's up to you.
I would not say anything if he addresses me beforehand, and just say I'm a mere servant, or just nod and say little words that mean nothing.
Next to the door, a man in black, sleek leather outfits and a huge lasgun slung over his shoulder will sort of kick himself off from leaning against the wall. I knew I would see you here sooner or later. As I told you, Consul, these are the traitors. The traitors of the Imperium. They have come to represent their twisted and vile lord.
Sam, Reichart, and Rick show up not to show up soon after the engagement.
The consul will pipe up and... It would be a mistake to cause any violence here. There are too many gods for even you to deal with. You are quite surrounded.
I assure your council that violence is the last thing on our agenda. We merely wish to disclose the truth.
Well, speak it then.
I would move aside and let Sam take center stage.
You are hereby...
Whoa, wait. Ask him about the on the microbit without saying something. Careful, Sam. My suspicions of him being the main treasurer could be faulty. We're not sure who he represents. He's known as consul. In my own world, we had no such titles. Proceed with caution. We wish not to anger him. We do not know his influence here. Be wary of this additional entity here. My suggestion could be that he's one of the minions of Icarus. He will use our words against us. Speak with caution.
Do you whisper this?
I don't need to whisper. I don't have a throat, so I'm sending... I basically speak through the microbit without saying anything.
Okay.
Since I don't have lips, I don't have a throat, but I do have a photo.
The acolyte will look at you with disgust. They... Go ahead.
Sam pauses upon the first syllable that he was about to express, instead listening in silence before looking right at Matthias and giving a slight nod. He turns back to the console and approaches slowly. Identify yourself.
The woman behind the desk will sort of open the desk as you would a bar, pull this little hatch up and walk out. This is the consul of Chani, the treasurer. You wish to speak with him?
I believe we do. You are the one called Abe, is that correct?
My family may address me with my first name, yes. And who are you?
I'm Samuel Spade. This is Commissar Reichart, the data predator Matthias Shaw, and finally, this one we simply call Rick. It's rare that his last name, Nix, is ever uttered, but for the sake of formality, I will utter it.
Oh, you're with the army. I know you. Yes, you're on good standing with the king. How may I help you? He looks visibly anxious.
We have heard rumors from a reputable source that certain deeds have been acted upon by you. We wish to merely know more about what exactly these deeds are.
He sort of sinks into his boots and you can see him turn pale. And the man standing next to the door will walk forward. He has short brown hair, leather vest, and looks like a gunslinger. As the throne agent Otto told you, Caster Typh attracted the Elder. He is the one responsible for their presence. Through the blunder on Kul and the subsequent attack on that craft world. He's the reason they're here.
I believe...
We don't need to answer to any of you.
I believe Sam is talking. So, step back, please.
He will pull out his rosette. You're speaking to a throne agent. If you haven't forgotten, we're still in the Inquisition. You are responsible for bringing the Eldar here. And he will go into the attack on the craft world, citing old legend from Spyron Hark, who initiated the search. And you can do a Forbidden Lore Inquisition test. -20.
Do you need assistance, Sam?
I'm alright.
Got it.
430. And I'm sorry, it was what modifier?
-20.
-20. Uh, 5 degrees of success.
Nice. He is kind of taken aback as you list off detail after detail of Spyron Hark and how it has no bearing on what happened on the craft world. It's ancient legend, and you're operating with the Eldar, who are completely unpredictable. You'll bring up every encounter you've had with them, how they weave situations and set you up time after time, and you have to be on the offensive to beat them. He kind of... You can see his eyes turn sharper and sharper. He's kind of a... You can see his kind of binary. He respects law and Lex Imperialis, and as you speak of the Eldar, he'll sort of interrupt you. It's not always right. It is not always right to extinguish every site of the Xenos. Cooperation is preferred in many instances. And every time you have interacted with them, it has ended in bloodshed. Every time.
Cooperation occasionally is the most prudent option. However, these are not the times for them.
The city had peace before you arrived.
None of the cases in which you had cited were times where cooperation and peace were an option. These were the most direct routes. We did not have we could not gamble away what little ground that we had gained. We took the option that was necessary.
Was it necessary? They had peace. Aid had peace. They negotiated peace with the Eldar. When you arrived, total war.
Peace, you say? Tell me, did a plethora of human settlements that now lay in ruin, did they also not have peace until the Eldari came? Do we not have more examples of precedent of the Eldari oppression than you have examples of their mercy?
He will begin to speak, and you can see Aid I'm afraid I have to leave soon. I have something important to attend to. Can we just be done with this? What did you want of me?
After Sam addresses his drone agent, he's going to give Abe some side eye and turn his full attention to him. You know why we are here. You know exactly why you were shaking. You know what information we need. There's a simple question of whether you will give it to us or not. And quite frankly, we are willing to give you a way out. You are forthcoming with this information.
The acolyte will walk up to Abe. He will lay his hand on his chest. I told you this would happen. I told you to extract. It's up to you now. Don't betray us. And he will just exit the door. Abe will stand there. His secretary is now frozen in terror. They're literally standing like frozen in time behind the desk.
Consul Abe, please, sit. And,
do an intimidate test. -10.
If you want, I can do it for you.
if you could go ahead and pull the chair for the consul, Matthias.
Of course, Lord. As he sees this train rich with its three jaw-like appendages, as it basically embeds itself into the chair, promising acts of violence should its use not be to move a chair and be it that of a crushing of a frontal lobe, which would surely be resulting in fatalities. The chair slides with that annoying as the marble is being stretched due to the sheer pressure, and brings it behind the consul.
Awesome.
Please sit. Make yourself comfortable. And I will now roll. Hopefully it wasn't. Hopefully it won't be.
Hopefully it works.
Oh, yes. Fuck, that's success.
Barely.
Oh my.
Barely. Your intimidate is pretty insane, by the way.
Love me disturbing voice, love me metadendrite.
Yeah, of course, we'll sit down and looks quite terrified. With a heavy thud, he will land in the chair, and you can see his servants slowly turning around to look at him in case he gives them a signal to intervene. No, it's all right. This will only take a second. I trust you know our laws. This is in grave violation of all of our institutions and our laws. But I suppose you're not above that. So, what do you want of me?
You know well that potential traitors do not have the same sorts of rights. You are very, very well aware of this. And by the edict of King Xavier himself, we are to carry out many duties and many...
I will let you accuse me of many things, but you may not call me a traitor in my own office. You'll see some spittle flow out, and he is fuming with rage. I would never betray my people.
No, never. Not willingly, of course. But you may have been coerced by outside forces, and again, we are letting you leave with a way out if you give us the information that we need. And just to encourage that, I have a small device here, and he's going to take out his... Sam will take out the interrogation cogitator.
Mm.
And this will ascertain your innocence.
He will be absolutely terrified. Any of you can roll an interrogation test. Minus 30.
Does anybody else have coordinated interrogation by chance? Or would like to assist?
No, but I can assist. Or I can roll it. It says -4, but I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Usual rolls.
Assistant just grants a +10.
Okay. So it's a net +10.
No. Yeah, but minus 20.
In that case, that's 6 degrees of success. I have coordinated interrogation as well as the cogitator.
Nice. Okay, Sam. Everybody.
So
go ahead and describe. Describe how you did.
So the small device unfurls in front of him. It's pointed directly at his forehead, and it maps out various statistics and various data such as heart rate, rate of breathing, and a bunch of other features. Sam's just going to ask a few simple questions, and in tandem with the rest of the warband, we're going to see if we can't suss out exactly what is going on. First and foremost, actually, does anybody else want to pipe in with questions before I start?
Well, Record will just have moved behind him, as now he's sitting on the windowsill, and just as you're starting your interrogation, he will hear the button and the slide of a bolt pistol against leather. And just leave it at that.
Awesome. The scene is, there are these very crystal-like windows, almost church windows, 3 of them to the outside world, a little bit tinted. What's going on is in broad daylight. There is the light of day, but it is also hidden completely from the outside world. And you can hear footsteps of guards occasionally walking down the hallway. Aid squeaming in his chair. You see sweat start to run down his forehead. Then you can do a fellowship test, -10. We don't have to do... Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to do direct RP, but we can go through... as you dig closer and go further and further into his mind and into his secrets, you will... I'll give you a set of rolls and you can decide how you react.
Okay. So Sam's going to start off with a number of control questions. What is your full name and position? What is your birth date? How many children do you have? A bunch of simple questions that he can answer easily and be put at rest, even just for a moment, before he digs a little bit deeper, asks more probing questions, before finally asking the big ones. Who and where is Tig Al-Shahud, and what kind of information has been given up in exchange for whatever he had received.
Excellent. You can roll a fellowship test -10 for your ability to generally navigate a convincing question.
Quick question. Would Ambassador Imperialis apply to this?
Can you remind me what it is?
Sure. It's all of that text. So, penalty for dealing with non-Imperials is -20, is reduced by 20, any kind of penalty.
That sounds appropriate. That sounds very appropriate for this.
Then that would be a flat success.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well done. He, as the sweat runs down his forehead. Fine. The meaning of the caduceus. You captured Gallanus. Gallanus. The other half. That's the meaning of the caduceus. The two snakes. One is Gallanus. The other is the name you uttered, which I will not dare to speak. You can see him turn pale and sweat runs down his forehead. They are as one. You've only captured one head of the snake. There is another. And he is more powerful. Another rogue trader. He was given unsanctioned rejuvenate treatment. He is capable of superhuman feats. I don't know if he's fully human. He looks down at the ground and you can see him like disappear into his own world, recollecting something.
At this point, you'll actually see Rickard look across the sand, just give him the eye.
The twin snakes. Gallanus and the other one.
Sam presses on this. What exactly are their functions in this in this dual nature, in this dual form?
He draws a deep breath. I was only trying to manage the threat. Everyone threatened to destroy our city. If I did not give in to one, then the other would have destroyed us. They have my family. You can see him sob and break down in the chair, and the woman behind the desk starts crying. They have everyone.
Describe them. Who are they?
The twin snakes. Barely able to speak at this point.
What are the twin snakes?
I think Sam would inform me on that.
I'm saying it's an organization. Is it cult.
He looks up, just tears in his eyes. I don't know, but they are horrible. They tortured my... He seems sort of not able to speak anymore, looking out the window. I can't. They will kill them.
You know that if you are not forthcoming, that they will kill them anyway. We are your best chance at recovering your family intact. So speak to us.
Indeed, let them die in the Emperor's light. You may not, but they still can.
You still have an opportunity. They may yet live. So tell us what information you gave to them. Bring it into the light, that you may all be purified.
So still weeping, looking out the window. I gave them access to all the ancient deeds that gives the tribe's representation. They were searching for something in the wilderness, a map of some kind. They said it wasn't valuable to us, but priceless to them. I was responsible for all the ancient deeds. Without them, the tribes are powerless. I gave it to them. They effectively rule this earth.
Don't. We do.
Or whatever is left of it. You can see Mom looking down at the ground, defeated.
Is such a thing possible? Mere possession of the deeds is sufficient for complete ownership? Is there no
gave them access. They could trick them. They could appear and pretend to speak for the council, and with that, gain access to every city on this world. Every vault.
So, let me get this right. The family was taken. You give up all the deeds, giving them access to every city in this entire planet. Your family hasn't been returned, and you sat on your ass. Is that what I'm hearing?
He just looks defeated down to the ground.
You are a coward.
Reinhardt, you were never blessed with family, have you? Know that the temptations of the flesh lord are at the strongest when those you love the most are in peril. Logic becomes secondary. The safety of those you treasure becomes primary. He is a wicked witness of our human nature, yet also our strength.
Literally gonna walk away in just absolute disgust at this person.
He, while sobbing, will break down and is sort of difficult to reach. Any of you can do a fellowship test -30, as well as a linguistics test, High Gothic. He's catatonic and difficult to reach.
Oof. Do you want me to give you an inspiration, Sam?
I've got it. Whoa.
Oh boy!
Success with 1.
Yeah, boy. He breaks down. You're able to reach him somehow. He's just sobbing and looking out of the ground. How do you make him feel safe and open up?
Sam walks up to his chair. He kneels, looks upward at his face. Abe, all of us must appear the strong person, and each of us must do as we will to protect our own. But believe me, you will want to speak. You must speak for the sake of your family, for the sake of yourself. And if we don't unravel this soon, it'll be complete darkness for all of us. Be brave. Speak from here, and he's going to poke him right in the heart, right in the chest.
Also, he's going to stutter. The living quarters. I gave him safe dwellings in the city. He could still be there. It's surveillanced. There are 2 cameras at the entrance. One inside. You'll have to go through the gardens. He fumbles for something in his pocket. Picks up a watch and will flip it open. You can see looks like a photo of a woman. I gave him access to my old house. He lives in my old house. Tig al-Shahud. He looks up with an ominous glare. Tig al-Shahud.
Sam puts his left arm on his shoulder, or left hand on his shoulder. Trust in us. They will live.
I don't know where they keep my family. He looks up questioningly.
As you already experienced, the interrogator is good at his job. You will know soon enough. As soon as we grab him.
Our chances are best if I show you. Perhaps we can enter unnoticed.
I look back at the cogitator and see if there's any kind of wavering as he makes the statement. see if he's trying to pull a quick one over us.
Not at all. No, he's telling the truth. You have a baseline, and he's very honest.
His conviction once again lit ablaze. His duty, not to his city, but to his family, burns bright. I can say it. Burns bright as the brightest forge on Mars, radiating heat, radiating vengeance.
All of you get an inspiration point.
I fucked up my extender for a second, sorry.
No problem.
Radiating as the bright sun on Mars, as the brightest furnace on Mars, but yet has done nothing to save them.
Yet here he stands on his own 2 feet, ready for action, merely needing a push.
If he valued his family, he would be, if necessary, dead in the ground.
He will slowly get up from the chair. Hurry. We have no time to lose. If you intend to help me, then help me.
Interrogator, I believe that assisting this man will surely improve morale for our cause and perception of public order.
Agreed, Matthias. Sam rises and extends a hand to the console. Stand.
He gets up.
Then I believe that you shall join our ranks, and we will rescue you and your family from this situation.
The woman still weeping, and the man standing behind the desk. Is there anything at all we can do to help? Please.
I suggest you continue your work. Act as if nothing happened. We do not wish for the opposition to think that something is afoot.
They will run out to embrace the consul, the woman hugging him closely.
I'm going to leave behind. I'm going to ask one of our party, not the war band, but another soldier, to watch over these people who are in this room. Ensure that nobody uses a vox or otherwise to try to sneak a message. And I'm going to lead the consul out of the room and over to the living quarters.
The guardsman will take the orders. Consul will stop you at the entrance to the door. I think I'll be recognized. Is there some way to disguise me?
I'm glad you asked. Interrogator, as our previous kerfuffle regarding the last time you have deployed me in a filtration mission, me being recognized has been proven quite a detriment. Therefore, I have taken initiative. I have acquired cosmetics in order to conceal our Trojan identities. Even a man such as myself, who has no interest in making himself presentable, may appear as someone else by using this.
As he gives you a disguise kit.
Very good. This will be quite useful. If we can work in tandem, I believe that in this room, maybe it's going to gesture over to restroom. I think that will suffice for a room to apply these changes.
I would advise you that you do not attempt to mimic someone else. That will require skill and possibly be subjected to scrutiny by the guards, as long as he appears, well, as a nobody. Just changing his identity without mimicry, it will resist at least superficial scrutiny much easier.
The one will rush over with a shawl, pull it over his head. Maybe this will help.
Sam grabs the shawl and nods to the woman. I think that most certainly will, but continue on with your duties. As they had mentioned before, we need to make sure that nobody thinks that anything has been betrayed here. They may already know of us coming. The throne
She will
agents,
rush out. Any of you can do a deceive disguise test. Plus 10. You have
And
a nice little bathroom to do this in.
other than that, what I called record is going to go. Sam, his family is, let's say, incarcerated. Yet she seems to be very protective of him. Is there a reason why he hasn't gone after his family?
presumably he was of, and he's going to take a sidebar with Rykard for a moment. If you'll just wait for us in the restroom console, we'll be there momentarily.
He nods.
Matthias, if you can keep an eye on him.
And of course, I will prepare the necessary tools.
Rykard, it's entirely possible that they are not men like you with an armor of contempt. They may simply be terrified. They may be shaking in fear at an abduction, and they may not see the bigger picture. As Matthias had mentioned earlier, in their eyes, their family and their fears come first, not logic. As for that woman, it's entirely possible, quite frankly, that they may be having some sort of affair. It's not uncommon for men in power to take advantage of these situations.
Indeed, and that is what I'm saying. She's a threat.
A threat that we will manage. Again, we have posted soldiers here. They'll manage.
Indeed, I just wanted to have a bad feeling. What I've heard, I can't describe. It's just a bad feeling.
It is noted, Rykard, and the next few hours, I believe, will be full of peril. But if we manage things correctly, we may minimize that threat.
I would recommend, as lead acolyte, to sit this one out.
Do you believe such a thing to be prudent at this critical juncture?
He's going to look around and see that the room is empty and go, it feels like a trap.
According to the cogitator, I do not believe that to be the case. However, it could be another situation in which we're barreling into something that we don't quite understand, and quite frankly, if we don't take this opportunity now, all may be lost. We've gone through similar situations and have emerged victorious, sometimes with great losses still. But we must do it. This may be our only chance.
Well, I can't tell you to sit it out, but yes.
Now,
Anyway,
we must make with haste. We have much
Indeed.
work to do. And Sam's going to go into the restroom where the data predator had already prepared the various makeups and skin dyes, prosthetics, all sorts of interesting wares with which to manipulate appearance. He's going to go over very, very finely and with great focus alter this man's appearance. There's going to be a hunchback, a large nose, almost false nails, almost like a more haggard appearance. One that a person normally wouldn't trust, and as he creates this appearance, a monster will emerge from the restroom.
He already had kind of a big nose, so you've made this real fucking hawkish nose. Hunchback. He looks unrecognizable. He will stumble across the floor and mumble under his breath, "I think this will do. Should we go? Go now."
A certain distance may be required between us and you, just in case. However, please take this as a Metadendra will shoot from underneath his robes and look to approach his ears as he embeds as the Metadendrite embeds a microbead gently into his ear, saying, and through the microbead, a clearer voice of Matthias can be heard. You can now hear us, and you can speak to us, although do so with whispers, should you not wish others to think you are insane. Or perhaps you wish to add this motif to your disguise.
With a shaking voice under his robe, "I am ready." He begins to walk down the stairs. Okay, guys. Tell me how you want to approach the former mansion of Aid the Consul. By the way, it is here on the map.
Ping Radiant, please.
I'm pinging repeatedly.
We're not seeing a ping.
Oh, now
there
we're
it is.
seeing.
Yep.
now I'm seeing it.
I believe, Reinhardt, that if we were to have our contingent with us too closely, it may garner the wrong kind of attention. Attention that we already draw upon ourselves. If we were to have them tailing us, say, 2 blocks away, they would be there just behind us, but within a Vox call away. Do you believe this to be prudent, or do you think that we should approach by ourselves?
And he's going to look down at his uniform and go, not very inconspicuous. So, do you say you go in through the back door, I go in through the front door?
Do you believe that to be prudent? The
Probably
consul
not.
did mention going through the gardens.
To camera, to pit recorders are positioned at the front doors. We would not want to spot them. My lord, if I may advise.
Simple fact of the matter is, if anyone sees me, they are going to probably fortify. So,
then perhaps a simple change of appearance for you as well would be necessary. At the very least, the hat is a dead giveaway. I do not mean to insult you, nor your position. But you know the capacity in which you currently dress is not suitable for this particular kind of mission.
Indeed, I have fought and killed this uniform.
You're standing among arches decorated with roots and flowers. On the streets you'll see people carrying carts or dragging carts and carrying goods from stone roads and painted tiles and plazas around you. Many of the buildings here are multi-levels, and you can see beautiful apartment blocks and decorations, opened beautiful windows, stone stairs curling around each building. It is very cozy, lots of flowers, colorful. You can see people playing and sort of slow motion in the background, some children chanting and laughing as you're standing there talking.
We quickly take this conversation to the back streets, just to ensure that there's nobody
We'll do
overlooking.
it.
Then it is an order.
You can actually see in his face a little bit of anger and hurt. He goes, agreed. So, Huntsman, you. Empty your pack. Give me your spare uniform.
You will hand it over.
Also, the rest of you, bunch up, scatter. Actually look as though you actually care about the populace. Hand out rations. Make it look as though we're here to help.
They'll look kind of ashamed, like they just got a lecture. And they will slowly walk out in the streets, and One of them will instantly stop in front of you. Excuse me, would you like my lunch? And stands there and gives it off to a random family, looking over his shoulder at you and kind of smiling with yellow teeth. Nodding a couple of times, seeing your stern eyes, the smile will slowly fade on his face and he'll just disappear around the corner. If I understood it right, you're all alone now?
More than is there a small maniple of Mechanicus forces here? Out of curiosity.
Mechanicus?
Yes.
No.
No. Okay. Other than the debris that are necessary for maintaining vehicles.
No Skidari.
Yeah. Got it.
Oh, Sam, what do you want to do? Do you want to have a patrol walk through the front first? See what it's like, or
Interrogator.
creeping through the back?
If you allow this unit would like to present tactical options.
Sam nods.
First, regarding our reinforcements, I possess quite the experience in Zone Mortalis combat, as well as tight quarters and small unit tactics. Hazardous terrain means nothing when a small unit is capable of a quick response and ensured force should we require it. With your permission, I would like to assemble such a unit, pretty fast, made of whatever guardsmen are available. They will be clandestine. They will not attract attention. They will look like a patrol. Should things go, as guardsmen say it, south, in due time they will be able to respond to our aid. And as they sit, attract no attention. Second, in the process of infiltration, I suggest we shadow the council, as both me, you, and even the commissar, as he is, may attract attention due to being escorted with possible Imperial forces. Your presence can be, well, to my shame, even I have lost you in the crowd once or twice. A shortcoming of mine, no, but an attest to your skill. As for myself, well, there are a lot of back streets, and I'm good at tracking my prey. The commissar and both Rich can pretend to be just two other guardsmen on patrol. Doing so, not attracting attention, maybe staying farther back than us. Communications with the councils are assured. We can keep an eye on him as he mumbles to himself ways of entering inside. I believe that this should be the best course of action, with your bidding and approval, of course.
Your tactical analysis is sound. I believe that we should execute this plan.
I have to say, I do not approve. I wish to be at the forefront.
Your wishes and capabilities are contradictory to each other.
For this, Reichardt, I believe that Matthias is correct. I do not mean so in insulting your abilities, but for this particular tactical analysis, I believe that he is in the correct. He is in the right.
As you wish.
Then let us go forth.
Awesome. Any of you describe out of character what happens, or all of you. You can move your token, so you have a token on the map to exactly where you want to move.
From our current location, how long would it take for us to basically, let's just say, a guardsman to sprint from here to his to the council's former home?
Well, I actually know
Sprinting.
this because
About a minute.
About a minute.
A little over a minute.
Getting any closer would attract attention.
I mean, you might even attract attention by being there, where you are now. By the way, I wanted to ask you one at a time. Did you do any trickery with your subtlety since last session?
Sam, that's you.
Any kind of trickery with subtlety? How do you mean?
Did you reduce the loss, or roll to increase
I wasn't
it?
there toward the past session, but can we do so really quickly?
Sure.
Okay.
Subtlety 2 times.
Okay. Then we're going to use Cleanup Crew, which will raise it by 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to get a quick read on exact subtlety if I succeed on this following check.
Sounds good.
Man, people are using my elite advance. What the fuck?
You're at
success?
You're at 40 subtlety.
40 subtlety. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. Sounds good. Alrighty. What do you do?
I'd suggest that a quick response force sit here, close to the building, not leave. 1 minute response time is more than adequate for the moment. Actually, it's way better than expected. Matthias will basically shadow the council, going either through rooftops or darkened alleys, away for the prying eyes of the common populace and those who would look around him, using his chameleon cloak, ensuring that whatever sudden movements do not register on the periphery, or if they do, Matthias would already be gone from the place that would attract attention. He would keep an eye on the council as he makes his way towards his former old home. And that's me.
Move the token wherever you want to go.
Well, there's still the rest of us.
This is where the house is.
Rickard will have come out in his guard uniform, which is a little bit more creased than he actually likes, but sort of pushing that down inside him. What he has come out with his lasgun. Well, a lasgun on his back, his saber, and a pistol. So he looks a little bit different than the rest of them, but what he has got down on his, on his knees, and is handing out sweets to the children, and basically just acting like a soldier. The only difference being he has a vox bead in his ear.
Awesome.
Sam will follow Matthias' lead. He's going to take off the trademark trench coat, hand it to a guardsman for safekeeping, and similarly don a chameleon-lined cloak, trying to keep up with Matthias as closely as possible, trying to trace his very steps. Time to time, he seems to lose him, but as Matthias pauses in order to ensure that the rest of the group is intact and in the proper positions, he's going to ensure that he is doing so, and we'll just follow along.
Do what you want.
I would say that we take a stop here if it's okay with you guys, right here, and let the at least the more stealthy ones continue forward with the council as he approaches his house.
Is the council walking alone without this disguise?
Yeah, we're following behind him because we don't want him to. We don't want people seeing like a hunchback person followed by a dead priest, a possible, a guardsman, and
Yeah, so he's walking alone and he's disguised, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna do some rolls. Guys, give me a stealth test.
Oh, stealth. Success with 7.
Success with 7.
Success with additional 10.
Nice.
Almost a net 1.
Yeah.
Success with 2.
Nice. You will sneak up behind him. He will point around the corner and will disappear into a back alley.
And as Cart is sitting there, just sort of interacting with the local populace, doing the hearts and minds thing, we'll go on the bead and say, he's gone into an alley. Do you want him terminated?
From the roof's metadendrite can be seen through the rain collection system on them. Matthias' voice saying, I still have eyes on him. No threat will come to him.
He can't be trusted.
I believe we can, for his own safety at least.
She should be fine, as long as someone's calm.
And I will ask the council, how long until this place you want to show us? An estimated time of arrival.
Sorry, didn't catch that one.
I'm asking the council through the microbead.
Oh, I thought you said commissar.
Oh no, I
Sorry.
said council.
Ah, okay. You're gonna hear a whispering voice under his robe. I am right there. I am behind the gardens now. I can see the entrance.
Once again, what was the third picture recorder?
By the entrance. There are none in the garden. It's safe.
Matthias will say, I can step forward, make sure the entrance is clear.
Afterwards, I suggest we all enter. We're gonna use our force and momentum to take our target by surprise. The quick response force will ensure that no enemy reinforcements or enemies attempt to take our position by force.
We'll have the Imperial Guard on the front so that it can't escape.
No,
Yes.
that will attract too much attention. It will arouse the target.
Yet,
Well, if
You
you
have
want stealth,
Rick.
I should probably stay behind.
yet you have Rick here, who has
Or at least at this
literally
point.
taken the smallest guard shed possible.
I believe that moving forward is easier. So, they can join the quick response force.
That's
Okay.
good.
The scalpel will be needed, in and out, as fast as possible.
I am fast and lethal. I could do that, yes.
I concur with Matthias. Be on standby, ready to pounce at a moment's notice.
Well, I hope you sneakily do your thing, because I'm used to more loud stuff, so I'm gonna stay here now. Calm, or at least I'd hear it if you need me.
You will.
Okay. Well, moving to your position now.
And as Matthias would check the gardens, make sure there's no one looking. We will one by one enter the same alley as the disguised council as we seek to go through the garden in the back entrance.
You're near the Brahmin estates now. You'll see these long bridges and artificial gardens. Lots of gardens surrounding what resembles Achaemenid architecture. Rows of pillars and arched balconies, staircases leading to majestic towers. The houses are mostly tan and sparsely, elegantly furnished. You can see silk flowing in the windows of the balconies, prostitutes walking in the streets. No one bears any marks of suffering. And in the back alleys, where you find the consul, leaning up against a pillar, he's looking up at a giant mansion. He looks out at the garden. It is overgrown. You'll see these gardens overgrown with weeds. A huge, unique, kind of like steampunk style manse stands on its own, surrounded by gardens overgrown with weeds. It is built on rockcrete, reinforced metal frames. The building looks almost like a fortress further in. Double windows at least. A terrace leads out into the gardens from an elevated plateau behind the house. You're looking up at the backside of the house right now. It is 3 stories tall with a loft.
The terrace at which story is it?
First floor.
Council. Where would be the best place for a man such as the one in this house to place his area of work?
So you moved straight up to him now.
And then one
You're
through the
by-
micro bit.
Okay. Are any of you by his side?
If stealthful to do so, I would like to be 5 meters away from him, either
Sure.
up or down, or left
Sure.
or right.
10 degrees of success. Yeah, you're right next to him. You're looking up at this mansion. He looks over his shoulder. They could be anywhere. The mansion has many hidden compartments. Hidden rooms.
I would like to check the surroundings to see if the entrance to the balcony is being watched by any pedestrians, any guards.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Interrogator, with your blessings, I would be capable of scaling up the terrace. Lay down rope for you to use the harness given by the blessing of the Omnissiah. Its motorized system carrying your still not fully improved form.
Acknowledge Data Predator. Proceed, and I will be following behind you in short order.
Searching for a place to enter himself, the Data Predator will look at the aforementioned overgrowths of weeds on the walls of some of the buildings. He will judge whether he can use these weeds to gain purchase on the walls as he attempts to climb towards the balcony.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay. I will, using the method and the manipulator to gain extra strength, he uses both his improved arms and legs to climb up.
Roll a 1d10.
Oh, fuck. Six.
Whee!
So, to your surprise, as you begin to climb, you grab these thick vines. You move almost spider-like, your mechadendrites grabbing the ground, crawling forward. You grab a couple of vines and begin slowly lifting yourself off the ground. Be careful not to make a single sound. You place your mechadendrite on the balcony, on the bottom of it, and begin lifting yourself up. As soon as you're about to crawl over the edge, you look over. There's a little red light blinking in the corner of your sight. A pick thief security network has been set up by whoever is inside. There's an open window next to it, and the pick thief is slowly going back and forth. Do a stealth test, plus 10. Plus 0.
Challenge. Got it. Success with 4 additional.
Awesome. Roll another d10. You crawl onto the balcony and land, slowly dragging out your rope. You will lower it off the balcony. You look over to the open window.
Anchorage has been secured, interrogator.
Copy that. Sam will go from tree to tree, his current visage obscured by the foliage and shrubbery, and he will make his way over to the anchor point, tug on it once or twice, and make his way up as he ascends.
Be advised before going above the balcony, a picked thief has been reported in front of the double doors made of glass. On my mark, should you be able to move yourself in approximately 3.33 seconds with a movement speed of at least 2 kilometers per hour, you will be able to reach the left side of the balcony, shielding your form from the picked thief.
Inspiration point. Roll another d10, Tavi.
Me specifically, or
Anybody.
Sam? I rolled mine. Time for you.
Who Okay.
We're all in this together. Fuck. With a 7.
You look through the window. It is open, and there is a what seems to be a security device inside the room. It's about 1 meter in, and around the wall. You stick your mechanic right in. There's no one there. It seems to be sort of the end of a circular hallway. So there's a path to the left and right. Around the corner there is this interface, a hatch on the wall. You can see it with your sight, and you can, if you have an optical mechanic, you can see around the corner as well. There's some kind of security device in the window, and you can do a security test -10.
Moving forward, Matthias will say, "Sir, streamer, bottom right. Should it detect any movement, they will unleash a very irritating sound alerting the entire premises. Allow me a second." As he proceeds to, one of the mecha dendrites begins to clatter and pull out this servo skull as it's being thrown inside the room. The skull begins to draw these mechanical legs as it crawls to the side of the wall and begins to fizzle with the streamer.
Awesome. You get an inspiration point. The thing will open the hatch, revealing a security interface.
-10, it will be a +10. A success with 2 additional.
It just crawls up, and you can see it like it's pressing a bunch of things, pulling a lever, and the camera will stop. Red light goes off. Screamer is off.
The heroes of the Imperium, even in death, they serve the Omnisire.
As the servo skull returns up the leg of the Data Predator, resting somewhere inside his form, shielded by his cloak.
Awesome. You crawl up. Everyone else follows. In the rope, you can take your time. It's not a long climb.
Status, Matthias. My arms are growing tired.
No more security systems. You may reach the balcony at your leisure.
Sam's going to, with great effort, make his way over and pull his body over. He's going to land with a soft thud and compose himself, grabbing a few moments of hard-earned rest before proceeding to Matthias' position.
Rick, do you follow as well?
Yeah. Rick grabs onto the wire and starts climbing it really, really fast, and it gets blocked by Sam's slow way of taking it.
Rick, do a stealth test.
You fool! You fell right for it.
Oh,
Dang.
the legend! The meme! The man!
Yeah, boy. You succeed.
Rick rolls.
Nice.
Oh my god. Yeah, you climb up the rope and you slide over the side of the balcony. Not a single sound, even though you're very heavy and you have lots of equipment with you. You're very lucky with how you land. None of your equipment hits the wall. You see the open window and crawl inside. Now all of you are standing in a balcony. Next to a balcony, double doors, glass windows, several glass windows. It is very beautiful here. Red carpets, white walls, paintings, urns. You can hear someone walking around the corner. Where do you go? Or what do you do?
We have no knowledge of the interior, as well as no knowledge where the target may be.
Rika starts doing Imperial hand signs from basic guard Imperial hand signs. So, yeah, Commissar should know this at least, to ask if he can take out the guard as soon as he crosses the corner.
So instead of you saying, "Oh, go left, right," just do a roll a d10 for me.
Alright. I'll do it this time.
Any of you.
Oh, your turn, right?
6.
Nice.
Alrighty. You will explore around both corners. Do any of you have any specs?
I have, good quality. Can see through walls.
Excellent. You walk around, lighting up, down, around the walls. You'll walk down the corridors, into a room, into another room. There's a main mezzanine overlooking the entrance hall into the house itself. In there are 3 guards, and there's a 4th guard sitting in a room on the same floor that you're at. So 4 patrolling guards in total. You can also see a servant walking around with a trembling tray.
Any way to bypass the guards?
Yes, you are walking around them, exploring. If you'd like to explore further, you can do that. Unless you want to take some action, sir.
Would it be possible to determine why they are here? Do they seem just relax on standby, not doing anything? Or do they look like they're guarding something?
They're guarding. Not suspicious at all. Routine guard. They look very heavily armored. These are equipped by the rogue trader. There is no doubt.
There are 2 options here. These people seem very well equipped for mere guards. They either take their job very lax while defending the rogue trader, or the rogue trader isn't here. What do you think, interrogator?
Agreed, this situation is most suspicious. I'm wondering if it's possible to abduct the servant and ascertain the location of where the rogue trader may be. Where's their current position?
I try to look for the servant.
The servant will actually walk up the stairs and begin walking in your direction. You follow him around, he walks up, down. Finally, he seems to be going to the balconies. Slowly wandering around the corner. Unless you do something, he will stumble right on top of you.
The servant is approaching us. Permission to abduct.
Engage.
Knock him out. Signals hand signs, knock him out, don't kill him. Blood's messy to clean up.
I will ask Rick to possibly assist me if he thinks he can move fast enough.
Got it. Do a melee attack.
Okay. If Rick assists me, would that give me a bonus of outnumbering him?
No.
Fuck.
Only one person can reach him.
Okay. Since we absolutely need this, and he's not aware that as soon as he passes the corner, he's gonna meet an abomination of the mechanical side. Just assuming.
No, this is gonna be quite a shock.
I will use a fate point for a +10
Yes.
before I roll. I will take a name, hopefully, and praise be.
my god,
I'll
your
give you my
Omnisaya
information.
is useless. I'll give
Yeah,
you
I'm
my
gonna
inspiration.
use a faith point. I don't
Do
presume I
it.
can reroll. Wait, what the fuck? I didn't even roll.
No problem. Just reroll.
Yeah, the first roll, it was I didn't have the modifiers.
So good.
Omnisaya is useless.
We'll have the second roll. There we go.
Oh, love the second roll.
Okay, Tavi. You see him coming around the corner. How do you do this?
The servant goes up the stairs. He walks the corridor. He walked close to his entire. He worked here for years. He's aware of every nook and cranny of this place. He walks up as normal, but for some reason, before he stays at the precipice where on his left the camera would zoom from his face as sweat begins to pour from his side. As close to the wall, Matthias and Rick, Mechadendrite ready and this mountain of muscle ready to abduct him. The servant feels something is wrong. He then looks to the left, sees shadows larger than would normally be normal. As he's about to say something and turn around, a Mechadendrite clutches his jaw shut as Rick begins to pull him closer past the stairs.
Nice. They get an inspiration point. He's gonna be dragged in, silenced. He's an old man, not able to put up a fight.
Oh, shit.
He's carrying a large luminescent pocket watch in front of him as a light. Very poor eyesight, just his cloudy, empty eyes, grey moon, no real hair. He looks sickly. He'll sort of startle and grab the pocket watch. No! So you grab him and he falls on the floor.
Interrogator, acquired target. Gender, male. Age, 60 to 70.
Sam's going to slip into the room, looking in between for any kind of guards or any kind of sounds that may be peeking around the corner.
Nope. Nobody approaching.
Sorry?
Nobody approaching. You're all alone.
He nevertheless slips from shadow to shadow as he slips into the room, and he's going to open it up and see this man cowering, completely in fear, ready to urinate themselves, and he's going to say, he's going to hold up his finger to his mouth. Shh. Where is the rogue traitor Tig al-Shahud?
Do an interrogation test when it's done.
Could I intimidate the old man to make the interrogation easier?
Yes, of course.
All right. I'll
Neutral roll.
make it easier for you.
Yes.
And
And,
again,
You step into the room with your giant frame, just standing over him, grabbing your melee weapon. You'll just rest it on his leg.
All right, up here is an interrogation roll. Success with 1.
quick question, Ambassador Imperialis?
Intimidation.
Yeah, that counts, Ambassador Imperialis.
Okay, so that's a net 10 then.
You get a +10 from Rick as well.
Sweet. Wait a quick second, sorry.
So you're standing over him, Rick, towering over this old man. He starts quivering as you begin asking him. He'll sort of, first of all, I am 87 years old. My name is Batim. I have served the Lord loyally all my life. And it will not end on this day. He pulls out his watch.
I grab his watch.
If you grab it, he will hold on to it for dear life.
I grab his mouth so he can't scream.
Do you pull it away from him?
No, I'm just holding it in place in case that was some kind of device. I just calmly say to him, "You have served your lord well. But
if you wish to take something, you may take the treasures in the safe in the living room beneath us. It is in the second cupboard from the right."
I will ask you once more. The treasures, although worth quite a bit, I am sure, mean nothing to us ultimately. Where is your lord?
With intimidation and interrogation, he will finally faint as he whispers, "He is in the basement."
No word will leave these lips when we find him. You will be safe. And he's going to take a pear from the plate and go ahead and take a big chunk out of it, and gnaw down on it, throw it back on the plate. But in the meanwhile, we must detain you here for the moment.
You will tie him up, gag him, laying him in a corner. Hopefully he'll survive. Leaving him, you're gonna try to find a way into the basement, as I understood it. Any of you can roll. Go and roll D10.
As they're leading the basement, Rickard's going to say, I shall be
It's
along.
turn to roll it, baby.
I shall be along.
Go ahead, Rickard.
Presently.
Well, if Commerce Arm will do it, I'll do it.
And oh, hold on, a D100 was it, or D10?
D10.
No, go ahead and do the description of what you want to say, Rickard.
6. What do you call it? As everyone's leaving the room and
6.
Guy is unconscious on the floor, he shall turn around and say, I shall be with you presently. And as you can see, he takes a small bayonet from what he called his from his back and basically watches everyone as they leave the room.
Okay, guys. You will walk down the stairs. You rolled an 8. As you begin to approach the lower level of the stairs, quietly as mice, you look to the door to the basement. It is open. As you sneak past the typical thief in the hallway, you suddenly hear 2 guards approaching on patrol from either side. You need to quickly run or hide. You can choose between athletics -10 or stealth -10. That's all of you.
Will the guards reach 5 meters of our hiding place?
Yes.
Fudge, so cannot.
You need to react quickly. They're right around the corner and they're about to walk in on you.
I'll spend an inspiration to reroll that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Oof, that was close. Jesus, what are those rolls?
Just before the guards, before we descend, Sam's also going to relay the information regarding how many guards there are and whether we should approach with lethal. To which Sam is going to urge against it unless absolutely necessary. And as the guards approach, he's going to duck into. Is there like a closet? If there's a closet, he's going to dodge into that.
Got it.
So the Commissar record succeeded with 5 additional.
Just describe what you do if you wanted to add some description to anything. Yeah.
So
Rick
as
looks
he
around
comes
for
back,
the nearest object he can hide under that can cover his massive weight and just dive straight for it.
There are a plethora of knightly armors decorating the walls, but one podium seems to be missing. Noticing this, Matthias will use his cloak to take the shape, to take the same color as the knight armor in front of him. His medieval armor beginning to cover his form as it would do in combat, as these plates begin to fall from his interior upon his form, looking more and more similar to that facing him. The guards would go past the two knights without noticing the difference, hiding in plain sight.
Awesome. You get an inspiration.
Cart, using what he has learnt through years of the Imperial Guard and being quite literally a ghost until he doesn't want to be. You can hear the footsteps of the soldiers coming up, and with literally cat-like movement moves into the pillar and just fades into the background so that you wouldn't even know that he's there. Since, as he's done many times before obviously jumping out on someone.
You will enter the basement. It is dark and very little light, just a few artificial lumen. And looking down, there is just one large hall, just one giant room. It is empty. You can hear some clacking in the distance, far in the distance, very echoey pushing of buttons. Far down in the corridor.
I would like to check if connection to the outside is still possible, or due to the depth, no signal would reach outside. Basically checking if I have
you have a signal. You have a signal.
A Metrodendra will coil over these higher balcony-like structure, and between these wooden contraptions holding the barrier, looking down and around to check what's ahead as he's laying on his stomach, as the data predator lays on his stomach.
You're with them, by the way, Brad, if you're here. You're with the rest of the group. You will see, with his back towards you, a man with a heavy-set frame. There is a servant next to him, pointing to a monitor. There is a desk in the corner of the room, far corner of the room. 20 monitors next to each other, showing various sides of the city and other locations.
Can I identify the locations using navigation?
No.
So I haven't been...
Some of them are here, some of them are somewhere else. You don't have time. You can hear the clacking of buttons and they begin to talk. They're talking about something going on one of the screens. All of you step in the room and you have 1 brief second to react. What do you do? As he begins to talk loudly, it becomes clear that you're way too close. You're all audible to them and they are audible to you. It's just a matter of seconds before you discover each other. Each of you get 1 action. Go.
How close are they to me?
20 meters.
I can charge that. Yeah, I'm gonna charge him.
Ja, det vore den att take them down. I would also...
Sorry, like 25 meters about.
Yeah,
A
still
little
gonna
bit,
charge
little
that.
bit further.
As long as they're within 30 for me.
Come on guys, quick. Or I'm gonna
Is
skip
there
your turn.
Is there any cover? Because I'll dive
Nope,
to that.
no cover.
Matthias and Riff will both be to manage as they hurry towards their target.
Oh no, I'll spend a fate point to reroll that.
Okay, well.
Holding a whip of castigation and a power sword.
There we go.
You will attach his target.
Rika lifts his warhammer as he jumps out of his hiding place, charging straight out to.
Everybody gets 15 seconds per round. And we're not gonna roll initiative. I'm gonna tell you when it's your turn as a group, and you can all go. I'll call out your names. The man will stand up as soon as he hears you, and his servant will turn around.
Righteous Fury, nice.
Alright, so if he tries to dodge, -6 for my attack.
Got it.
I mean -60.
Both of us
You
have
run-
the Righteous Fury.
You run forward, start flailing him. First you, Rick. You see a force field begin to activate. Light everywhere. The monitors explode. The chair flies back. He stands up, pulls out a weapon. Same happens when you attack him, Data Predator. You just see this flash of light. He turns around and you can hear a deep, raspy voice. What? As he pulls out a weapon. His servant will do the same. Commissar, go ahead.
So, Commissar Record will stride in to the room. Seeing his comrades rush forward, will take out his bolt pistol, realizing that, well, subtlety is now over, and will fire shots. So that's what degrees, and so that's success with 5. So 2.
Your turn is over. The Tigal Shield will turn around and he's gonna attack you, Data Predator. Sorry, Rick. Okay. Then he will attack you. That is a hit. You have -40 to dodge.
So, alright, just
Okay, you do not dodge. He's gonna hit you.
Alright.
You take 14 rending damage, 7 penetration.
What's the weapon that he's hitting with?
It looks like a some kind of chain axe, giant chain axe. It starts buzzing and will dig into your bones. Did you catch that?
Rick?
Rick?
Yeah.
Did you catch the damage you took?
Oh. I forgot to tell you about the -20, but too late now.
Yeah, negative 20 only applies to ranged attacks. Hard target, right?
Okay, Rick. So that's the first attack. Did you note the damage?
14 rending, right?
7 penetration.
Alright, 14 rending, 7 penetration, alright.
Okay, so your armor is... Oh, I gotta look this over now. 12 for everything. Okay.
Alright, so I take 12.
No. You have 12 armor, 12 soak, right?
It's the 6 armor, 6 soak.
Yeah. I think you take 9.
Oh, 9, okay. Oh, piercing only goes to armor, not soak included, okay.
So you were at... you had a number reduced wingspan before? Now you have -9.
Alright, -9. Yep. I was at 13, so so I'm
So
at 4.
you're at 4. Yeah. Alrighty. So he's gonna start clawing up your chest, and another attack is gonna hit you. This is for 11 damage, 7 penetration.
What's
I'm
the
gonna-
dodge on this one?
So yeah,
What's the dodge on this one? Because I got step aside.
there is no dodge.
Oh, it was all part of the same attack.
Mhm.
He used the swift attack with lightning.
11 rending, 7 penetration. What are you at?
Alright, -1.
-1. That was to the right arm. Rending.
I should have gotten healed before this.
The slashing attack tears free whatever the target was carrying. He drops anything he's holding.
So my warhammer.
He will hit you again. This time for 12 rending, 7 penetration.
12 rending.
You can feel the claw this time coming into your left leg as 80s. Yeah, that's the left leg. No, it's the right leg.
Damn it, so close.
And it begins to tear into the flesh of your leg. What are you at? Rick. Okay, guys, we're gonna delay this until next week. So we're gonna set a pause in it for now. It is your turn coming up. So next week we're gonna start on your turn. Not the best, but we had to do it that way. Good game.
Okay.
Okay.
Any history?
Yes. You guys captured you found aid. You didn't get that the rogue trader yet, so I'm gonna say 300.
Well, halfway through the mission.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we start off next game with my turn?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes. We skipped your turn the first time.
Right.
Perfect. Let's do the math for Rick before we go.
Real quick, when it comes around to my turn, I have my advanced med kit pulled out, and I've already made my Medicaid roll to heal whoever just got messed up.
Got it. 5, let's see, 5, 12. Yeah, that's about right. He's at -6. -6 to the leg. The last thing that happens is the blow slices a couple of centimeters off the end of the target's foot. Wow, I don't think we've had this one before. The target suffers blood loss. He loses a part of his foot. He must make a challenging toughness test. He succeeds. His movement have halved. So he does not suffer the lost foot condition. But his movement is halved. Okay.
Fun fact, this
So-
critical effect was the first one I got in your campaign. In the
Really?
first session as well.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
Nope.
So, just out of curiosity, the damage that I actually rolled, is that there or not?
Yeah, it's there.
It's there, right, okay. So, I'll take those bolts off.
Man, we were pretty fucking well.
That was pretty awesome.
We actually were like a squad of... like a death squad, but still.
Yeah, you guys did well.
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we actually managed to pull off a sneak mission for once.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, y'all want to fill me in?
Yep. It's because Braden wasn't here and I kept quiet.
Oh, I'm glad you say that, Reinhardt. Anyway, Brad, so Reinhardt did a oopsie doopsie literally the moment he opened his mouth and interacted with a NPC.
Damn it.
No, he didn't do an oopsie whoopsie.
You're absolutely right. It was more of a fucky wacky, indeed, because Sam was there to salvage the issue. So we went to this very...
You know what? If you people actually keep quiet and let me speak, and
I'm sorry, it wasn't that you
seen what was going to happen.
It wasn't that you spoke,
No,
Reinhardt.
no,
it was because you tried to
the
slap
fact
a
that
noble in
no,
a place
it's the
with
fact
guards.
You're a bunch of fucking pussies. Just go, oh my god, no. Oh my god, geez, it's a racism.
Okay, so despite I'm afraid that whatever Brad might say, you do not just slap a noble when there are guards around and you want to still have good relations with the local people. This is what we call a diplomatic incident. This is what we call being a idiot and not reading the room. But it's okay, I forgive you.
Did you just call me an idiot?
No, I called Reinhardt an idiot.
And as the player of... No.
Hey, as long as it's not a self-insert, it's okay, right?
I had a plan for that and you fucked it up.
I don't think I mind control the guy into shooting you. Your plan
Didn't
kind